Hello, Orgs and Clanks, and welcome to Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. This is going to be a bit of a different video to those I've done previously. It's not really a review as such, more of a opinion-based one to some of the unjust criticism this game has received, and also some of the absolutely justified criticism it has sadly bumped into down the road. Let's start with the silly side of it all. When they announced this game and they wanted to take in pre-orders, they had a, well, I guess, silly pyramid scheme to unlock rewards, typically with a choice between one thing or another per tier. It was simply ridiculous that they even thought that this was acceptable for a title which had so much hype based around it. When you buy the full game, you expect to receive the full game, not bits and bobs depending on what you picked per tier. Thankfully, due to overwhelming negative response from pretty much everybody, they dropped the idea and everyone got everything upon purchase anyway, with the exception of the 4-day early release. And let's face it, who the hell cared about that? If you were that needed to play this game just a mere 4 days early, then you clearly have something wrong with you. I loved Human Revolution to bits. It's one of my all-time favourite games. If I started to play through it again right now, I wouldn't exist to the world for a day or so until I went through start to end. For some reason, I was very hesitant to pre-order Mankind Divided, maybe due to the controversy around the pre-orders beforehand, but it's something I did not jump into. The game released on the 23rd of August 2016 to basically a complete wash of negativity. Again, this made me back away from the game, which was priced up for $39.99. Then a season pass on top of that for $24.99. DLCs. We'll get to that in a bit. Anyway, I couldn't understand why something as great as Deus Ex was suddenly being slammed. I basically forgot about the game. I added it to my wish list to keep an eye on slashed prices. That never actually happened until very recently, when I finally decided to ignore all the negativity surrounding the game. I snatched it up, and its season pass pretty cheap in the latest sale. Now, I have played the game for about 40 hours since I purchased it, and I have loved every single moment in the game. Those 40 hours were spent on a single playthrough, well, pretty much, as I've only just started New Game Plus. The graphics were an issue for a short while. I had everything pretty much maxed out on my GTX 1060. It ran perfectly, but something about the game felt like it was wrong. For the first, I guess maybe 4 hours or so, I plodded through, but then had the weirdest texture glitches, or modes where textures did not even load at all. Crazy black spikes would cover the screen, the kind you see when your card is actually starting to melt. My card is about 2 months old. There was no way in hell it was a graphics card. You know what the culprit was behind it all? And to my own surprise, and after tweaking the game to make it play as I wanted it to, it was all down to DirectX 12. Seriously. Turn off DirectX 12 if you're playing this game. It suddenly played like a goddamn dream. It felt completely right, and it still looked amazing. Admittingly, my settings are down a bit right now due to Shadowplay being a massive pain in the arse while I try and record this. So yeah, might have to drop Shadowplay for a better bit of recording software somewhere down the line. The game itself is beautiful, it's engaging, it drags you in and makes you want to keep playing, much to the probable annoyance of your missus, who is likely wondering why you are not in bed at 3:30 in the morning. The state of the game, as it stands in 2017, is in a brilliant place. There's plenty to do in the game to keep players engaged, and there's even more content coming in, I'd say, a week or so now. And I have not really done anything with the current DLCs. Breach, for example, I have not actually touched, and I'm still enjoying the main game way too much with 40 hours into it right now. The controls overall are very smooth. There's no hiccups there for me whatsoever. I use a keyboard and mouse just as I did for Human Revolution. It feels very second nature to me. I've never tried it with a gamepad, but I'm pretty sure it'd be just as smooth. The sound of the entire game, apart from odd moments when I move a refrigerator, then it starts making a clanking noise until I pick it up again and place it somewhere else. I have no idea why. The sound overall, music, it's all perfectly Deus Ex. It fits perfectly. So, let's talk a bit about the negative stuff that people seem to think overshadows all of the greatness this game has to offer. And we'll start with the ending and the fact that people have said that it is incomplete. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what on earth people mean by this. Without throwing in any spoilers for those who, still want to play this game and are on the sidelines right now, the ending is greatly influenced by actions within the game. Choices are reflected in the ending movie. I can see why people might be a bit disillusioned by the ending, thinking it's incomplete, but seriously, how? How is the ending not there? It wrapped up everything in Mankind Divided, for me at least, and leave it wide open for the next game to come along. To me, it is actually the perfect ending. There would be nothing at all good if the game ended with no opening for a sequel, something which I think Human Revolution suffered from. For those who don't know, the ending for Human Revolution was basically a here's 4 endings, pick the one you want kind of scenario. And overall, it was pretty piss poor. For the haters out there that seem to be saying that this is just half a game, it's just complete and utter nonsense. If you actually get into the game and enjoy everything it has to offer, you get a crap ton of gameplay to enjoy. In my case, 40 hours worth of it, and still going strong. I hack everything and read all emails on people's PCs. I read all ebooks at least once to learn things about the lore of Deus Ex. I will explore every single nook and cranny to find anything, something that there is for me to enjoy, and quite often that is rewarded. I really don't understand anyone who plays this game, finishes it in 10 hours, and then bitches about it so openly. If you finish the game that quickly, then you took the enjoyment out of the game yourself, and you only have yourself to blame. To address another criticism, the microtransaction in-game store, to which you can buy practice kits to enable orgs, quickly. Now, I can understand the annoyance to some people about this idea, but I will tell you now, to enjoy this game, you do not need these practice kits. You simply don't. If you take time to enjoy everything in the game, you will get to the point where you actually have too many of the damn practice points to spend. That you actually do feel like you're spending them just for the sake of spending them. I don't really know why they include this feature. It's simply not needed. Maybe they wanted to test the water to see if players would be sucked into microtransactions, which is a pretty odd thing to do on a triple A game anyway. And if you did buy into these practice kits, then you are a mug. There is no denying it. People hate on this idea just for the idea of something to hate. Any negativity projected onto this is wasted. Just don't use the so-called feature. It's not needed in the game anyway to fully enjoy the whole experience. So why do it? What's more, why let it ruin a perfectly great game for you? Ignore it, pretend it's not there, move on, and be immersed in the world that they give you. The last bit of negativity I will address, that people seem to have an issue with, is the single-use items that you can receive in storage. For the most part, when I played through this, I forgot they were even there. It was only on New Game Plus that I actually bothered to look in that inventory tab and noticed a couple of cool things, so naturally I took them out. People's anger here is directed at the fact that most of them are single-use items. Why the hell this matters, I don't know. New Game Plus means you get to keep everything you had at the end of the last save file, including those one-time items. The effect still lasts. The classic revolver is still there when you start over, providing you use that same save file. What is the big deal? Did players want the entire thing unlocked over the entire game, no matter what save file you use? It's another one of those, that's a nice idea, but really not required to enjoy the game. It's more hatred that is simply wasted. Honestly, I freaking love this game. Is it the hip thing to hate on this game? If so, count me out. All you're doing by hating this title is preventing another game coming forward, and that's a massive pissing shame. It already looks like Square Enix are starting to move away from it, with the next big title from them being Marvel related. I hope they do revisit Deus Ex and give us another game. After that, I would love to see them remake the original 2000 Deus Ex and Invisible War, and tie them all together in a nice big bundle. Reviews on major sites have been shedding positive light on this game from the start, and it's as it should be. If you sit there and relate to Steam reviews and you avoid this game, just like I did for months, then you're as foolish as I was for excluding something as great as Mankind Divided from your collection. There's nothing wrong at all with Mankind Divided. It's got tons to do in game, it looks stunning, and it plays beautifully. Any hatred toward this game is completely, well, damn well unjustified. Do what I did, get it on sale, and love it to bits. If you really enjoyed Human Revolution, there is no reason at all to not enjoy this one. Take your time and enjoy everything that this game has to offer, and you will get your money's worth. Just don't rush through it. There is no need to do that. I guess we'll end this here, just by saying all of the negative criticism surrounding this game right now, the fact that it has mixed reviews on Steam as an overall thing, is completely unjustified. I do not understand it, and if anything, it paints the Steam reviews in a really negative light. This game is brilliant. Don't let the reviews fool you on Steam. Like, share and subscribe if you found this video at all useful. For the anti-augmented, there is a dislike button there too. I've been Wolf. This has been Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and I'll see you again soon.